The hearing of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is hereby called to order. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Alan Cayetano, and Senator Trillanes. Good morning, gentlemen. As you can see, hindi po dumalo si Vice President Binay. At meron tayong statement na prepared for this. Sayang at pinili ng ating Vice Presidente na imbitasyon ng Mother Committee ng Blue Ribbon na dumalo at humarap sa pagdinig tungkol sa mga isyong kinakaharap sa kanya sa kasalukuyan. Sa pagtanggi ng Vice Presidente sa imbitasyon ng Mother Committee, sinayang niya ang mahalagang pagkakataon para iparating sa mga kababayan natin ang panig niya. Nakakalungkot dahil hindi din binigyan ni Vice Presidente ang pagkakataon ang publiko na madinig ang panig niya upang makabuo sila ng sarili nilang pananaw at konklusyon sa mga isyong ito. Nanghihinayan ako dahil pinili ng Vice Presidente na tanggihan ang imbitasyon ng Mother Committee sa kabila ng ating pagtiyak na siya ay bibigyan ng paggalang na angkop sa kanyang posisyon sa pamahalaan ng patas na pagtrato at pagkakataon na harapin ang mga nag-aakusa sa kanya at sagutin ang mga akusasyon. Meron pong mga developments po nangyari this morning. Dumating po ang kanyang mga representatives, si Attorney J.V. Bautista at si Congressman Toby Chanco. At nakipagpulong sila sa akin. At meron silang liham na pinakita na ang request daw ay number 1, si Attorney J.V. Bautista ang magbabasa ng isang statement, prepared statement ni Vice Presidente na naka-address sa akin. Pangalawa, after reading the statement, they would submit an affidavit. The committee met on this. That's also the reason why it took some time. We had a meeting. The committee met on this and voted upon it, and it was agreed that we will not allow the statement to be read. Also the affidavit. If they wish, they may submit it to form part of the records. However, it was agreed after voting that the representative would not be allowed to read a statement. So sayang itong panahon, sayang sana itong panahon, this would have been the proper time and forum so that the issues surrounding this controversy would have been properly ventilated. The entry of the Mother Committee was for the purpose of inviting Vice President Binay. Since it's clear that Vice President Binay will not be attending, I am therefore turning over the proceedings to the subcommittee for them to continue, and as far as the Mother Committee is concerned, this hearing is therefore adjourned.
First-time witnesses.
Kindly raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Cayetano.
I'd like to ask for a few minutes just for some administrative matters and some matters that have to do now with the integrity of the committee. But before that, since the doctors of the UERM are here, and in the last hearing, I'll discuss that matter later on. But after two gentlemen, former Congressman J.V. Bautista and Congressman Tiangco came in, they went to the media and said that they were presenting a medical certificate saying that Vice Mayor Mercado was hospitalized in UERM. And they have posted, I do not know who, probably the camp of Vice President Binay has posted on YouTube the video of the former Vice Mayor Mercado telling this committee that if we can prove that he was hospitalized and that Secretary Mar Rojas visited him, he will move that his whole testimony be expunged from the record. No? So it is in this context, it is outside this committee, but since it was a commotion that happened here and then it was a statement of the Vice Mayor, may we know straight from the authorities of the UERM, one of the most reputable teaching hospitals now in our country, may we just ask them, Mr. Chair, the direct question of whether or not Mr. Mercado is a patient of theirs and whether or not a certificate was in fact issued.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Go ahead, Dr. De Los Santos.
Yes,
go ahead,
Your
ma'am.
Honor. Based on our records, there was no record on the admission regarding the admission of a Mr. Ernesto Mercado in our institution on October 1 to 4, 2014.
That was the certification that was sent, ma'am, on the sa media, no?
The written statement, Your Honor.
Yes. Did you notice anything about the statement?
What about the statement, Your Honor?
The attending physician,
The attending physician was Dr. Divina Gracia.
and he is the...
He is the acting vice president for hospital services as well as the president of the medical center.
And as the president of the medical center, have you conferred with him if Vice Mayor Mercado is or is not his patient?
Vice Mayor Mercado, according to Dr. Divina Gracia, is not his patient.
And was never his patient?
Was never his patient.
Yeah. And by the way, ma'am, the Vice Mayor gave his consent, no? Because, of course, if there is a doctor-patient confidentiality, but even before you spoke, no, in the media, nagbigay na ng permission si Vice Mayor Mercado to the hospital to confirm, no, kung meron o wala. Thank you, ma'am. So, in other words, ma'am, the certification is a forgery or a fake. It is not issued by the hospital or by your president.
We cannot say that, Your Honor.
No, I mean, ma'am, sorry, no, I know you're not lawyers, but
Yes.
it's only authentic or hindi authentic. So if you don't want to use forgery, let me rephrase so that you'll be comfortable. No, is it
Yes.
authentic? Was it issued? Was that certification issued by your hospital?
It was not.
Okay, thank you for that.
Okay, no questions for the doctor. Thank you for your presence, Dr. De Los Santos. Attorney Sarte, thank you. You're free to go. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, may I ask for a few minutes?
Sige, Senator Cayetano is recognized.
Can we start with slide 3 so that we can start with that topic? To be fair to the administrators of the UERM, they had to come here because it is illegal for a hospital or for a doctor to release records of their patients. So if they remain quiet, there will be an impression that if you go to their institution, anyone can walk in and get the records, no? But let me just refresh the memories of our... Well, let me start with this verse, no? Walang natatago na hindi nalalaman at walang lihim na hindi nabubunyag, no? And can you go to slide 3? That is really our prayer here, no? That the whole truth and nothing but the truth will come out, no? Let me remind everyone of the incident in the last hearing, no? Without any invitation and without any authority or any permission granted by the chair, former Congressman J.V. or Attorney J.V. Bautista, and then later on backed up by Congressman Toby Tiangco, went to this portion of the hall at nagpipilit po magsalita. I do not mind being criticized it is the right of every Filipino to have their opinion. But when several so-called experts go on air, use their Twitter account, have themselves interviewed in the various media outlets as experts, but when they speak out of either ignorance or when they intentionally try to mislead our people, it is our duty to correct that. Kailangan po namin itama kung sadyang sinisira po ang kredibilidad ng committee. Unang-una po, ano bang ibig sabihin po ng public hearing? Public hearing po is an official meeting where members of the public are called upon to provide testimony on a given policy. No? So halimbawa po, pag magtataas ng buwis, magkakaroon ng public hearing, lahat po ng taxpayer pwede pumunta sa mic, magsabi ng opinion nila. Halimbawa po yung Bangsamoro Law, na ngayon po si Senator Marcos and yung committee pumupunta po sa certain places in Mindanao for public hearing. Kahit sino po ay pwede pumunta sa mic at magsalita dahil yun po ay public hearing. At yun po ay paulit-ulit na naririnig ko sa mga nagpapa-interview, public hearing po yun. Hindi po to public hearing. This is a hearing open to the public. Magkaiba po yun. Ang hearing po na open to the public, and in this case, it's an investigation in aid of legislation, in accordance with the rules of the committee, bukas ito sa media at kahit sinong gustong manood. Pero ang pwede lang po magsalita ay mga membro ng committee at yung mga resource persons o witnesses. Kahit po abogado ng resource persons ay hindi pwede magsalita unless payagan ng chairman o isuspend ang rules po natin. So lahat po doon nagsasabing bakit hindi sila pinasalita dahil public hearing, nagkakamali po sila. If it's out of ignorance, okay lang po. Pero if it's out of paninira sa committee, kailangan natin itama. Pangalawa po, parliamentary courtesy daw dahil congressman at former congressman. Ang ibig po sabihin sa Merriam-Webster Dictionary, courtesy, behavior marked by polished manner or respect for others. First of all, Senator Trillanes pointed out to me that courtesy goes both ways. So ang courtesy naman po, pwede naman kami approach sa likod, Sen, Congressman, pwede ba kami magsalita? Pwede po magpadala ng note, nandito kami, may gusto kaming, hindi po yun ang ginawa, sumugod po sa mic. Number 2, ang parliamentary courtesy po ay pag nabanggit po ang pangalan nila at ito po ay personal. Halimbawa po, wetting hearings, nabanggit ang ilang congressman, iniimbita sila para magsalita. In this case po, hindi iniimbestigahan si Mr. Bautista o si Mr. Tiangco. Ang Makati at si Vice President ang iniimbestigahan, spokesmans po sila. They have no personal knowledge. They cannot be witnesses because wala silang personal knowledge ng mga nangyayari. Parliamentary courtesy, dati akong congressman, I can go to Congress pag may hearing, I can sit down. But I have no voice nor vote. Hindi po ako pwede magsalita, hindi po ako pwedeng bumoto. They went there not to sit down as congressmen and for us to extend the courtesy that as congressmen, they can join us. Inagaw at inon po yung microphone. That is not only a discourtesy to this committee and to their colleagues. Go to the next hearing, the next slide, please. It is punishable by Article 143 of the Revised Penal Code, an act tending to prevent the meeting of the assembly and similar bodies. No? The penalty of prison correctional or fine ranging from 200 to 2,000 pesos or both shall be imposed on any person who by force or fraud prevents the meeting of a National Assembly or any of its committees or subcommittees, constitutional commissions or committees or divisions thereof, or any provincial board or city or municipal council or board. Next slide, please. Disturbance of proceedings. Kahit nyo po hindi prevent, yung lang pong guluhin nyo. The penalty of arresto mayor or a fine of 200 to 1,000 pesos shall be imposed upon any person who disturbs the meetings of the National Assembly, Congress of the Philippines, or any of its subcommittees, committees, subcommittees, constitutional commissions, or divisions thereof, or any provincial board, or city, or municipal council, or board, or in the presence of any such body should behave in such a manner as to disrupt, as to interrupt its proceeding or to impair respect due it. Take note po yung disturbance of proceedings. It is enough that you interrupt or it is enough that you impair the respect. Bakit po? Kasi po, 10 to 15% lang naman po ang nanonood ditong live. Ilan lang naman po tayo nandito sa loob. Most of this sa news na lang mamayang gabi. 90% po sa news mamayang gabi. So tignan nyo po naging strategy ng mga kakampi ng Vice President. Nung unang hearing, kasabay ng hearing, kinasuhan ako at ang aking asawa ng kaklase ni Abi Binay, ng anak ng Vice Presidente na congressman, ng kasong plunder. Susunod na hearing, sila Attorney Bundal at ang anak niya, no? Ang kinasuhan naman ng plunder. At pagkatapos naman, si Congresswoman Binay tumambay dito, pati sa pagpunta ko CR, sumusunod, may dalang camera crew para mawala ang attention sa hearing, parang attention na sa akin. Pangatlong hearing, pumunta na naman sila dito, si Senator Trillanes, binuli daw yung mga taga-Hillmarks. Na mga taga-Hillmarks man magsabi, nag-usap lang sila. 2 hearings ago, si Mr. Bautista, nandyan nakaupo dyan, nagtaas ng kamay, sumugod dito. Despite my objections, the chairman, being humane and being decent and respectful for former congressman, allowed him to speak. Ano pong ginawa niya? Nakipagsabayan ng salita sa amin, ayaw po niyang to stick to the issue. And then, last hearing, susugod silang dalawa. So, Mr. Chairman, integridad na ng Senado at ng committee itong pinag-uusapan. So, I'm not suggesting right now that we file any criminal cases or a case sa House of Representatives, but wag na po itong maulit. I will repeat my stand, Mr. Chair. No? Anytime, pwede pumunta dito ang Vice President, mag-testify, pero pabayaan, tanungin din siya. Kung magsasubmit silang ebidensya, katulad ng ginawa ni Senator Bong Revilla, pumunta po siya sa Senado, sa session hall, nagdala po ng maliit na truck, nilagay niya po yung mga dokumento at sinabi niya, I'm submitting that. So if they want to submit affidavits, etc., they're welcome to. Pero yung magpapadala ka ng spokesman na walang personal knowledge, na walang gagawin kung hindi siraan at banatan tong committee, and then afterwards naman po, pag tinanong mo, hindi naman sasagutin at walang personal knowledge, they will be wasting our time, no? Which will make me go, Mr. Chair, to the first slide, please. Just to answer the allegations of the Vice President, 2-3 press con na, sabi niya, wala namang ginagawa Senado, kawawa ang tao sa MRT, ang kuryente, baka mawalan in 2015. No? Kung ano-anong kritisismo. Mr. Vice President, nagmumultitasking kami dito sa Senado. Just between July of this year. July lang po, July, August, September, October. In 4 months po, ang Senado ay naka 122 hearings po. 54 of those hearings po were on the budget hearing. 3 hearings po were on port congestion. 2 hearings on PNP modernization. 2 hearings on the MRT, LRT. 3 hearings, no? 1 hearing here and 2 consultation meetings in hearings in Marawi and Cotabato ay sa Bangsamoro Basic Law. And then, dun po sa abrupt increase in power generation na nangyari last year, nakadalawang hearing din po. We also have laws that we have passed, the ladderized education para sa ating mga kababayan na and the open learning distance education sa ating mga hindi pa graduate na kailangan ng ibang platform o sistema. Ang Scholar ng Bayan na lahat ng top 10 sa buong Pilipinas simula next year ay automatic admission and libre na ang college sa state universities. Ang mandatory PhilHealth coverage for all senior citizens na lahat sila ay automatically covered at yung Quezon City Development Authority. Hindi ko na isa-isahin, Mr. Chairman, but gusto ko lang ipakita sa publiko, hindi na namin kasalanan kung hindi na TTV, kung hindi na cover ng media lahat ng hearing natin. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na hindi po tayo nagtatrabaho. Bagkus, tinignan ko po ang schedule ng Vice President, katulad po today. Iisa lang po ang official event niya. Mukhang ang opisina pa niya, either the Office of the Vice President or HUDCC, ang nagbayad nung pamasahe niya papunta doon. But the rest of the day are interviews. Sinabayan niya po tayo, 9:30 to 10. Nagpa-interview siya sa Cebu. The rest of the days are political activities. Meeting with people, no? So, baliktad po. Sinasabi niya tayo namumulitika, tayo po nagtatrabaho. Third point po, Mr. President, pinersonal po ako at ang aking asawa sa media na sinasabing magkakaanak din kayo, na pinagdadasal ko, magkaanak kayo, hindi nyo naiintindihan dahil wala kang anak, bakit mo sinama naman yung anak ng Vice President? Let me answer that very quickly. Hindi po bata ang anak ni Vice President. Kung 8, 9, 10 years old at minor de edad po yon at nag-post sa Instagram, talaga pong napaka walang yako naman ho, no? Kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, 24 anyos po siya at may pamilya na. So inassume ko naman po ang 24 anyos na pinalaki ng Vice President na may pamilya na, alam niya na kung ano tama't mali. At alam niya na pagka nag-swimming sa isang lugar at tinanong saan ka, sasabihin mo resort sa Cebu, sasabihin mo hotel sa Ilocos. Pero pag sinabi mong our place, ibig sabihin sa inyo 'yon, no? At hindi lang naman 'yun ang ebidensya. Number 2, Mr. Chairman, bakit po nung si Janet Napoles ang naglagay ng mga Instagram, no, nung mga kasosyalan, Jean Napoles, ang anak po ni Janet Napoles, ang nasa news at nalagay yung Instagram niya, bakit ang Vice President hindi sinabing kawawa naman yung anak? Bakit hindi sinabi ng Vice President, ba't nyo naman dinadamay yung bata? Diba? Pero pagdating sa anak niya na 24 anyos, ako pa may kasalanan ngayon kung sila naman po ang naglagay ng Instagram. By the way, Mr. Chairman, that wasn't a private picture. Siya po ang naglagay sa Instagram and it was sa public. Lahat ng kaibigan niya, and there's a Supreme Court decision that kahit nilagay mo your friends only, once ilagay mo sa internet, once ilagay mo sa Instagram, Facebook, sa Twitter, pwede na screenshot yan lalo na sa smartphones, no? Then it becomes public at kahit sino ay pwedeng gamitin yon for evidence. Supreme Court po ang nagsabi niyan. Third point, Mr. President, with your patience, no? Yesterday po, lahat na ng masama tungkol sa akin ay nilabas ni Mr. Chu. Hindi ko na po sasagutin lahat ngayon. Maybe at the end of the hearing, dadating pa siya, diretso ko siya tatanungin. But medyo naapektuhan lang po ako dahil si Ms. Teresita Angsi ay nagpa-interview this morning at sinabi, hindi ko daw dapat gawing biro ang kidnapping. Mr. Chairman, for the record, never ko ginawang biro ang kidnapping. For the record, Mr. Chair, I've been in government since 1992. I've always worked for the protection not only of the Filipino-Chinese community that I'm very close to. I might not look it because Amerikana ang nanay ko, but I have Chinese blood because Luna ang lola ko on my father's side, no? And my great-grandfather was a Chinese surveyor, no? So I've never taken kidnapping lightly. Si Mr. Chu ang pong nag-umpisa nito. Sabi niya, ang worth ng kumpanya 5 billion. Sabi niya marami siyang pera at sabi niya very successful siyang negosyante. So tinanong ko lang siya, are you willing to open the bank accounts of the company? Kasi ang balita ko, may perang tumatakbo between you and the law offices of the Binay at pinaiikot nyo lang ang pera. Siya nagsabing, sir, you're subjecting me to kidnapping. At sinagot ko siya, how can I be subjecting you to kidnapping kung ikaw na nagsabi na may 5 billion ka? Sabi niya, shares naman yan, hindi cash. At sinabi ko, matalino ang kidnappers. Alam nila mayaman at hindi. Ang problema, kinat po ni Mr. Chu yung palitan namin. Siya nga yung tawa ng tawa habang nagsasabi ng kidnapping nung hearing. Ako seryoso ako parati basta't ito ang pinag-uusapan. Tignan niyo po sa syudad ng Taguig kung may kidnapping. Kasi pinipilit po namin talaga at ginagastos po ang pera na maging safe ang mga tao. Pero si Mr. Chu pinutol po, pinalabas doon at yun po ang ginawang excuse o palusot para hindi po dumating today. So, Ma'am Teresita, you have my assurance I never take kidnapping or any life lightly, no? Mr. Chair, I'd just like to show this, no? Can you go to slide number 7, no? Nung undas po, naglabas sila sa dyaryo, sila Vice President Binay, na sinisiraan daw sila sa North Cemetery dahil may mga dyaryo. Ito po ay kinakalat po kung saan-saan kasama po sa Cavite, no? Sa harap, si Ang tinitira po si Vice Mayor Mercado. Next slide. Sa loob po, ako po, ang aking may bahay, at ito po, no, nakalagay mga pork barrel expenses, malabo ang paliwanag. 17 years na po ako sa Kongreso. Ni 5 po sa akin pork barrel, walang question. Pero mag-file sila ng resolution. Si Miss Nancy Binay po, ang senadora, siya mag-subcommittee. Ako po upo dyan, Vice Mayor. Sasagutin ko lahat dahil wala akong tinatago. Sabi din po dito na mismo si Janet Napoles nagbigay sa akin ng pera. Hanapin niyo po lahat ng dyaryo. Never niya sinabi na siya nagbigay ng pera. In fact, linaro pa ni Ben Harloy na never ako nagbigay ng project sa kanila. Yung isa lang pong statement niya na nagsabing may ginamit siyang magbigay ng pera at sinabi kong harapin ko siya, ayaw pa rin. Next slide, please. At makikita niyo po, lahat ng ibang building, kasama pong Iloilo, ay gusto nilang isama sa hearing. Yun po, Mr. Chair, ang gusto kong ipalabas dito. Ang sabi nila tayo namumulitika. Pero sa field po, sa media, walang sinabi si Vice President kung hindi ito. Nung panahon po na si Ben Har ang nagte-testify dito, hindi rin po siya grinigrill ng mga senador. Hindi naman po sila nagalit. Pero ang gusto ni Vice President itigil. Dahil si Jinggoy Estrada at saka si Senator Estrada and Senator Enrile kakampi niya. Nung nag-hearing na ngayon, gusto nilang ipaulit si Miss Napoles. Pero dati ayaw na nila. Ganon din po nung kay Malampaya. Yung Malampaya po, ni isa sa mga una, walang nag-file ng resolusyon. Ako po ang nag-file ng resolusyon. Ako po ang nangungulit kay Senator Guingona. Kailan mag-hearing or hintayin natin yung witnesses mag-hearing. Nung inimpisahan po natin tong hearing na to, saka lang po yung oposisyon at una ang gusto mag-hearing. Nung inimpisahan natin to, sabi nila, paggawaing bayan, building, bakit nyo i-hear? Ngayon, araw-araw gusto nila i-hear yung Iloilo. Samantalang ni isa sa una, hindi ginamit ang budget hearing sa House of Representatives para ipatawag ang DPWH at questionin yung building. You don't need a hearing para malaman ng Iloilo kung overpriced. Bakit? Kasi po ang DPWH nandito sa budget hearing. Unlike ito po Makati, hindi dumadaan sa amin ang hearing. Lastly, Mr. Chair, ang sinabi po ng Vice President, pinagtutulong-tulungan siya ng mga mayayaman. Mayaman ho ba kayo, Mr. Chair? Mayaman ka ba, Senator Trillanes? Ako naman po, sasabihin ko kahit papano may iniwan ng tatay ko, may kaya ng konti, pero hindi ko sasabihin mayaman. Vice Mayor Mercado, hindi ko alam kung mayaman o mas mayaman ka kay Binay. So far, binilang ko, I have counted about 2 billion in assets sa Binay family. So baka sila mayaman. Number 2, ang dami ko pong mismong nakausap na negosyante. Yung isa sa pinakamalaki sa ating bansa, kinakausap ni Vice President na against naman sa'yo si Mar Rojas, kayo naman pinagtutulungan kayo ng Aquino administration, sa akin na kayo kumampi, ako bahala sa inyo sa next administration. 2 o 3 grupo yon. Yung isang grupo naman, sinasabi niya, matagal na tayo magkasama sa Makati. Alam kong kalaban mo yung mga yan at out kay Pinoy yan. Pero pag upo ko, sa inyo din ako. Nung Lunes lang po, nagkaroon ng Binay Cup sa Ayala Alabang Country Club. So, Mr. Chair, hindi ko po alam kung ano yung sinasabi niyang kaaway niya yung mga golf cup. No? Last hearing, pinakita ko na po na meron silang yung racing ng kabayo. Meron din po silang mga pa-derby, no? Meron din video po dito na nagsasalita si VP Binay sa Sabungan at ngayon meron naman siyang golf cup club, no? So Mr. President, tayo pilit natin fino-focus, Mr. Chairman, sa issue. We're talking about the building. Ang problema, sila po ang bato ng issues that have nothing to do with the building. So let me end with this. This morning on my way here, Professor De Vera, Vice President ng UP, was saying, ang layo na kasi na napunta ng hearing, paano napunta ng Rosario? And then, today, nanganak naman, pupunta, he didn't use the word nanganak, but he was saying, nabali, pupunta naman sa Science Building. Mr. Chair, if people like him, calling themselves political analysts, would analyze and review the records of this committee, the only reason na tayo napunta sa Rosario is because the testimony of the Vice Mayor is that yung hill marks was the one who made the structures sa Rosario. And that the reason why lumampas sila sa 13% na usual kickback, yung usual kickback daw 13% lang. Kay Binay pa lang daw yon. Wala pa sa ibang mga opisyales. Pero kaya daw lumampas at naging bilyon dahil nga hindi binayaran yung sa Rosario. And if some people would read the resolution, Mr. Chair, may I borrow the resolution, no? Ito po ang resolution. Sa resolution po mismo ni Senator Trillanes, nakalagay dito yung ibang buildings. So, ang pinapalabas po sa radyo, again, it might be ignorance dahil hindi sila nagbasa, or baka may sarili-sarili silang agenda, or baka nagkamali lang. Pero if we are just giving our opinion, I'll respect that. But if you're trying to influence public opinion, ang pakiusap ko lang, be thorough naman. Kasi mahirap naman na i-mislead nyo yung ibang tao na hindi nyo alam yung resolution mismo. Talks about the science building and talks about the other buildings, no? So anyway, Mr. Chair, let me end there. And I will really try to just focus on the issues. Pero mahirap po. Kasi sa every time na kami i-interviewin, sa 10 minutes na ibibigay sa amin, 2 minutes yung issue. 8 minutes yung salag sa tinatapon ng kampo ng Vice Mayor. 70 to 80% of the questions media ask us are defending this committee in the integrity and not on the issues. And then they will say, why don't we stick to the issue? So let me return it to you, my friends, brothers and sisters in the media. You want to stick to the issue? Let's stick to the issue. But the Rosario property, the buildings overpriced, and the attendance of the Vice President here are basically parts of the issue. So sorry for taking up that much time, Mr. Chair. But again, as I said, ito po ay this deals directly po with the integrity of this committee and of us. And let me just put for the record, ako hindi na kailangan ng hearing. If anyone can show, and they can come to me in my office or before the media, they can show that we overpriced anything. Ako, the multi-cabs, that we have ghost employees. The Ombudsman is doing the investigation. Lahat ng dokumento we sent them. Pipilahin namin lahat ng empleyado to show them that wala. If anyone can show, there's no need for the trial. They can put me in jail. I'll resign and they can put me in jail. Hindi ko na kailangan ng investigation, etc. And lastly, Mr. Chair, nangyari na sa akin to eh. Nung nilabanan ko si President Arroyo at saka si First Gentleman, kinasuhan ako sa ethics. In a room like this, punong-puno ng mga kakampi nila. Pumasok po ako doon, 2 ang kasama ko po. Si TG Guingona at saka si Ronnie Zamora po, Congressman Ronnie Zamora. Paminsan-minsan po, sinasamahan ako ni Chis Escudero and of course si Joel Villanueva. Pero lahat po kalaban namin. At ayaw ako ipag-present ng ebidensya. Pero naka-televise. So nakita ng tao sino nagsasabi ng totoo at hindi. Doon po binastos ako sunod-sunod. Sabay-sabay po akong tinitira ng mga congressman. Si Vice President po gusto maging presidente. Pero hindi niya kayang harapin si Vice Mayor Mercado. Hindi niya kayang harapin to. When you're president, you have to face the UN. You have to face China with the issues. You have to face the Asian community. You have to face the oligarchs. You have to face all the problems in the country. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin pinagkakaisang ka. So, Mr. President, I will resist the temptation of saying much more, not only now, but in future committees. But may I ask the public and may I ask yung kaibigan natin sa media, etong subcommittee, eto ang Senado. Because the Senate doesn't meet as a whole except sa plenary. Ang subcommittee, ang committee, siya ang Senado. So, wag nyo nang respetuhin si Pimentel, wag nyo na respetuhin si Trillanes, at wag nyo nang respetuhin si Cayetano. Pero itong subcommittee po, bigyan po natin ng konting dangal, dahil po ito po'y ginagawa para sa lahat ng Pilipino malaman ang katotohanan. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Senator Cayetano. Since you asked about my wealth, for the record, per SALN, I am the 3rd poorest senator. And Senator Trillanes, I think you have the distinction of per SALN being the
poorest
senator. Okay.
So in that sense, Mr. Chairman, totoo nga na laban ito ng mayaman at mahirap kasi tayong mahirap, siya yung mayaman. Anyway,
Excuse me, Senator Trillanes. Senator Cayetano mentioned that we have, for the past hearings, maybe 2 or 3 hearings, we have been investigating the Rosario property. But in the eyes of the chairman, we have been justified in pursuing the investigation all the way to the property in Rosario, Cavite, Batangas, Rosario, Batangas, because of the allegation of the former Vice Mayor, some sort, ito Executive Director Santiago, you listen, because some sort of an ex-deal in contracts. That's why there was a rigged bidding or rigged procuring happening, because there was an unpaid amount related to the development of the property. That's why the rigged biddings or rigged procurement in the city of Makati, according to the Vice Mayor. That is what brought us to the property in Rosario, Batangas. So in the eyes of the chair, we were justified in pursuing the topic, and since a businessman owning listed companies claimed ownership, so we are also justified in pursuing his claim of ownership over that property. So all the way to his listed companies, if necessary, and all the way to his economic or financial capability to own the Rosario property. So we were justified in spending time in to uncover the truth about the Rosario property. Now, we are ready to move on, actually. But
Mr. Chair,
before,
just on that point, for the record, no, dahil maraming young people na nanonood na dito, si Ben Harloy po ay tinanong tungkol sa kanyang mga properties. Kasi nung kine-question din kanyang integrity, no? At pati yung properties ni Miss Janet Napoles ay tinanong kahit ng issue ay pork barrel, no? At kung paano palipat-lipat yung properties. Secondly po, wala po sa resolution ng ZTE yung alleged kidnapping ni Mr. Jun Losada. But the committee spent 2 days, 2 hearings, no? At the time that former mayor, now Congressman Atienza, was accused of being involved with a police major in picking up Jun Losada from the airport and then tinatakas na siya against his will. We spent 2 hearings po. And both administration, pro and anti-GMA, did not object that the committee went that way because it was part and parcel of the hearing. Why? Because cover-ups are part of anti-graft hearings. When you have an anti-graft hearing, and a blue ribbon hearing is for that, and someone tries to cover up, so in this case, Mr. Chu, if he proved the ownership, walang cover-up. Nagsisinungaling si Mr. Mercado. But if we prove that he is covering up and he's a dummy, tama si Mr. Santiago. So that is why Mr. Mercado, that's why we have not been grilling Vice Mayor Mercado, because he already told us what he knows. We are testing the people he are pointing to. That doesn't mean that I believe hook, line, and sinker yung sinabi ni Vice Mayor Mercado. But so far, he's been giving us leads that have been producing results. So just for the record, Mr. Chair, no, check history, check the records of the Blue Ribbon Committee. We're not, hindi tayo nawawala sa tamang landas, no? Ito din po ang ginawa ng Blue Ribbon Committee in the past, Mr. Chair.
okay, so, but still, no, still we have to be guided by the resolution we are investigating. So, the chair will try to limit the investigation within the confines of proposed Senate Resolution number 826, which I have explained time and again through the media, is composed of 3 parts. Part number 1 is the Makati City Hall Parking Building 2. Second part is the main City Hall. Third part, according to the author, Senator Trillanes, would be other related anomalies. So this is the flexible clause which is subject to interpretation, and we will reasonably interpret such a clause. So before we leave the topic of the parking building, Mr. Cuervo, I believe you have something to share because you have been very active since the first hearing. You've been present. So before we leave the topic, kindly share with this committee your observations.
I have completed the appraisal of the building, no? Which, as stated in my report, is 874 million. Now, I was also asked to put together a group of quantity surveyors to make an estimate on how much is the quantified value of the building. Now, the surveyors have a very, challenge, no, to do this because the information given to them is very, it's lacking, no? They're all JPEG files and incomplete. A lot of details are not included, and it's so very difficult for them. No? They told me that they can do a standard or correct design because the files showed over-designed, extremely over-designed, especially on the foundation. They claim that they never encountered this type of foundation design. No? Like you have 126 board piles. Imagine this 1.6 meter diameter, almost beside each other, and then on top of that, there's still a 3.2 meter thick mat foundation, and the whole property is covered by sheet paneling. I mean, everybody knows that the property they claim, no, is it's adobe foundation, and it's more than 200 meters from the river. So there's no need for any sheet piling. We can also look at the buildings that are in the reclamation area, and it's not as was this delicate. Now they gave me a list of things that they've observed, like from the files given to them, JPEG. First of all, these JPEG files were converted September 6, 2014, from an AutoCAD file, which is a drawing file, converted to JPG, DWG to PDF. Now, all the plans given do not have any signatures. They're supposed to be as-built plans, but still it states there that or equivalent. So it's like it's not really as-built because it doesn't state the name of the finishings. So this is the challenge they have. Now, the reason they could not complete it is because they don't have information on the machinery, equipment, and electrical works. No? So this is a big challenge. They cannot just make up what specs were supposed to be in place. No? And then there are also contradictions in the files. Like one file says there's 2 generators capable of for a mall, no? Even if it's just a parking building. And then another electrical, that's a machinery plan. The electrical plan says that there's only 1 generator in a different location. So you can see it was hurriedly done, and there was like no consistency between the ones who prepared the AutoCAD and then later on converted to a PDF file. No? I guess that's sufficient, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cuervo.
Ang request daw ay number 1, si Attorney J.V. Bautista ang magbabasa ng isang statement, prepared statement ni Vice Presidente na naka-address sa akin. Pangalawa, after reading the statement, they would submit an affidavit. The committee met on this. That's also the reason why it took some time. We had a meeting. The committee met on this and voted upon it, and it was agreed that we will not allow the statement to be read. Also the affidavit. If they wish, they may submit it to form part of the records. However, it was agreed after voting that the representative would not be allowed to read a statement. So sayang itong panahon, sayang sana itong
Since the doctors of the UERM are here, and in the last hearing, I'll discuss that matter later on. But after two gentlemen, former Congressman J.V. Bautista and Congressman Tiangco came in, they went to the media and said that they were presenting a medical certificate saying that Vice Mayor Mercado was hospitalized in UERM. And they have posted, I do not know who, probably the camp of Vice President Binay has posted on YouTube the video of the former Vice Mayor Mercado telling this committee that if we can prove that he was hospitalized and that Secretary Mar Rojas visited him, he will move that his whole testimony be expunged from the record. No? So it is in this context, it is outside this committee, but since it was a commotion that happened here and then it was a statement of the Vice Mayor, may we know straight from the authorities of the UERM.
Nakakalungkot dahil hindi din binigyan ni Vice Presidente ang pagkakataon ang publiko na madinig ang panig niya upang makabuo sila ng sarili nilang pananaw at konklusyon sa mga isyung ito. Nanghihinayan ako dahil pinili ng Vice Presidente na tanggihan ang imbitasyon ng Mother Committee sa kabila ng ating pagtiyak na siya ay bibigyan ng paggalang na angkop sa kanyang posisyon sa pamalaan ng patas na pagtrato at pagkakataon na harapin ang mga nag-aakusa sa kanya at sagutin ang mga akusasyon. Meron pong mga developments po nangyari this morning. Dumating po ang kanyang mga representatives, si Attorney J.V. Bautista at si Congressman Toby Tiangco, at nakipagpulong sila sa akin at meron silang liham na pinakita na panahon, this would have been the proper time and forum so that the issues surrounding this controversy would have been properly ventilated. The entry of the Mother Committee was for the purpose of inviting Vice President Binay. Since it's clear that Vice President Binay will not be attending, I am therefore turning over the proceedings to the subcommittee for them to continue, and as far as the Mother Committee is concerned, this hearing is therefore adjourned.
First-time witnesses.
Kindly raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Thank you. You may take your seats.
Mr. Chair,
Senator Cayetano.
I'd like to ask for a few minutes just for some administrative matters and some matters that have to do now with the integrity of the committee. But before that,
The hearing of the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee is hereby called to order. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Coco Pimentel, Senator Alan Cayetano, and Senator Trillanes. Good morning, gentlemen. As you can see, hindi po dumalo si Vice President Binay. At meron tayong statement na prepared for this. Sayang at pinili ng ating Vice Presidente na imbitasyon ng Mother Committee ng Blue Ribbon na dumalo at humarap sa pagdinig tungkol sa mga isyong kinakaharap sa kanya sa kasalukuyan. Sa pagtanggi ng Vice Presidente sa imbitasyon ng Mother Committee, sinayang niya ang mahalagang pagkakataon para iparating sa mga kababayan natin ang panig niya.